Welcome to my channel, Talking Tech with D, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the top 3 things you need to know about microservices. It's become a trendy buzzword, wasn't all that popular when I got started, but it isn't really a new concept. A lot of the buzz comes from the popularity of containerization and isolating services within your application. It also comes from cloud vendors like AWS and Google, who make infrastructure cheap and accessible, making this stuff a lot more feasible than it was 10 years ago. So let's get into it. What are microservices? Think of a mall. It's comprised of many stores that work independently and provide a service. They've all got their own management, their own inventory, their own responsibilities, and without them, there would be no mall. Now let's apply that to an application like YouTube. You have services for uploading, downloading, streaming, sharing, commenting, etc. These services are independently developed, deployed, and without them, there will be no YouTube. In computing, the benefit of microservices is that multiple teams can work independently and provide a service that can be consumed by other services. That allows each team to focus on their own strengths, use whatever OS, tools, or language they want. The idea is that level of autonomy allows them to build faster without having to worry about what the other teams are doing. Number 2, it's best for greenfield projects. Know when to use the microservices pattern and when not to. One big reason to break your application into smaller, independent services is that if those services can be reused elsewhere. If you're building an application with services that are proprietary to that application only, microservices might not be the answer. Despite the buzz, a lot of systems are not using microservices today, and they might not be anytime soon. Breaking a monolithic system into microservices is expensive and can take years. With that said, not a lot of organizations have the resources to take that kind of work on. Number 3, lack of unification. These are independent services that may or may not follow the same paradigm or use the same data models. Each service is a black box to each other. So imagine what happens when each service needs to communicate with each other. Well, if they're all speaking a different language, you need some type of translation layer so that they can talk to each other. Now, some folks may argue that this is great because you can swap out and upgrade services without involving the entire team, but if the implementation of the service changes, you have to involve them anyway. People love to oversimplify software, but software is not simple. There's a concept called Conway's Law, which in a nutshell says that a system will only be as great as the communication between its authors. Microservices are not a bad idea, as long as teams collaborate, communicate, and are aligned to the same goals. If not, then the overarching product will suffer. Now, I'm not saying go have a bunch of meetings, but I do encourage cross-team design reviews and good versioning practices. Know what the other teams are building. Thank you for watching.